All right, welcome to your lesson for the day. I just wanted to go to my homepage to remind you on how you can get to my chapter book. So here's my homepage right here. And if you click on Facts Assignments, it should take you right to Unit 9, Chapter 33 book. The test will be on here, but mine has more than yours because I have, all my stuff's here. So click on Unit 9, Chapter 33 book. And then you can zoom out. You can make this bigger so that you can see it. I have to zoom out because I can't see very well. Okay, so this is the beginning of chapter 1, and I want you to look up the vocabulary words in this chapter. And the vocabulary words in this chapter are cookware, so write this down on a piece of paper. Cookware, immersible, immersible, and utensils. And look, here's the first vocabulary word right here. So you would write down the definition, small kitchen tools, next to utensils. Okay, so you've looked up vocabulary words before and their definitions, and you will find them within the chapter. Like in the next few pages here, you'll find all the words. Okay, so the lesson for today is called utensils. So we have measuring utensils, we have mixing utensils that we're going to talk about in this lesson. Okay, so it says here, your home kitchen doesn't need dozens of supplies for you to be a successful cook in almost any situation. So you only need basic things to cook. You don't need every single kitchen gadget that the kitchen store has. Although sometimes I think I need them, but I don't. Okay, most kitchens are stocked with basic equipment that lets you perform an amazing number of cooking tasks. Small kitchen tools are called utensils. If you've already done some cooking, you know how helpful utensils can be. Without them, it would be hard to measure, mix, or prepare food. Sturdy, well-made utensils last a long time. If you have a dishwasher or microwave oven, it's helpful to have utensils that are dishwasher safe. So measuring utensils. The first one we're going to talk about is the dry measuring cup, which looks like this right here. So dry measuring cups used to measure dry ingredients such as flour, sugar, usually come in sets. 1/4 of a cup, 1/2 cup, 1/3 of a cup, and 1 cup. Sizes found in a set of metric dry measures include 50 milliliters, 125 milliliters, and 250 milliliters. But we happen to use cups in this country, so that's what we're going to talk about. Okay, so they mentioned dry measuring cups use, you put flour in there, you put sugar in there. So all your sugars, brown sugar has to be packed into a measuring cup, a dry measuring cup. And you're going to use a dry measuring cup for salt. You're going to use it for peanut butter. When you're measuring peanut butter, you'll use a dry measuring cup for mayonnaise, sour cream. I would not suggest using it for oil because oil is a liquid. It should go into the liquid measuring cup, which is what this one is down here. So like your solids should go into the dry measuring cup, and then your liquids should go into the liquid measuring cup. So liquids like oil, water, milk, vanilla maybe if you're using or making a big, huge recipe, any kind of like half and half, or if you're using heavy cream for a recipe. Some people use chicken broth in recipes or beef broth for soups. That's what you would put in a liquid measuring cup. Okay, so it says here from liquid measuring cup, they have a spout for pouring and measurements marked on the side in cups, ounces, and milliliters. So yeah, ounces are on there. If you have a recipe that calls for, 8 ounces of chicken broth for the soup, then it's marked on there. If you don't know what 8 ounces are, but it's also marked on there too. Okay, So the next thing they say that the common sizes are 4 cups, 2 cups, and 1 cup. And then in milliliters, it's 1,500 or 250 in the metric system. Okay, the next one we're going to talk about here is the measuring spoons. There is not a difference between dry measuring spoons or liquid measuring spoons. Usually when I'm baking something and I have a lot of ingredients that I put into the mixture, I will have 2 sets out. And I use it dry set, and then I use a liquid set. And then I don't have to keep washing them in the middle of me cooking, because you want to try to save time when you cook. You don't want to be in there for hours and hours upon hours. Okay, so measuring spoons are used for measuring smaller amounts of liquid and dry ingredients. The most common sizes are 1/4 of a teaspoon and a 1/2 teaspoon, 1 teaspoon, and 1 tablespoon. A set of small metric measures include 1 milliliter, 2, 5, 15, and 25, which we use the teaspoon and the tablespoon amounts. Moving right along to the next page. These are all considered up here at the top mixing utensils. And I know that's kind of hard to see. I'm not sure. Maybe I can do this a little bit differently. Ah, there we go. How about that? You can see that now, can't you? Okay, that's much better. I can see that better too. I like that. Okay, so mixing utensils are used to blend ingredients together. You can use some mixing utensils for a variety of tasks. Others can be used only for a specific task. So mixing bowls, they hold the ingredients that you mix and come in graduated sizes. Graduated sizes means they're different sizes, like small, medium, large, giant, enormous, ginormous. It's not even a word. Okay, Pastry Blender. You can also use a fork instead of a Pastry Blender. I just want to point that out. A Pastry Blender would cut shortening into flour for pie crust and biscuits. And I know a lot of people use butter as well for cutting instead of the shortening. Okay, this is a wire whisk, and they are used for beating and blending. Whisk are especially efficient to stir sauces and beat egg white mixtures. Sorry about that. And it adds, when you use a wire whisk, it adds air to your mixture. All right, a mixing spoon. I'm sure most of you have either like metal, plastic, or wood. Mixing spoons have long handles and are used to combine ingredients. The plastic or rubber scraper, and they call it a scraper because you're scraping out all of your mixture into either a pan or something. You're scraping all the mixture out so that you don't waste anything. So plastic or rubber scrapers are used to scrape bowls. See, it says it right there, scrape bowls and mix ingredients together. They have a wide, flexible blade. And this here is a sifter. It sifts and mixes dry ingredients together as they pass through a mesh screen. They come in various sizes, so that's a sifter. A rotary beater, which is that right there. It also is known as a hand blender or hand beater. You use it to beat eggs and mix thin batters such as pancake batter. And most of you will just use an electric beater, an electric mixer. This is probably something that I would say your great-grandmother used because they didn't have electric mixers. Maybe even your great-great-great-grandmother, especially if your grandmother's young. Okay. Talking about a couple more. These are called cutting and chopping utensils. And it says cutting and chopping utensils are used to cut food into smaller pieces, which is like the culinary term for it, which you know that. Keep safety in mind when you're using cutting tools. So a paring knife, which is this one right here, it's a very small knife. They're used for peeling fruits and vegetables. So paring, used for peeling. So I remember this one as the 2 P's, paring, peeling. All right, utility knife is this one right here. Sometimes they're a little bit straighter and not necessarily curved up here. I have one that's a lot straighter in the classroom. There's all types of different knives. It's just this book only has 4 of them. So a utility knife is an all-purpose knife for cutting and slicing foods. And then this one's a chef knife. It's a very large knife and it has to be held correctly. And I will show you how to hold that when you're in class. So a chef knife is used for cutting, mincing, and dicing. And there's all kinds of other types of cutting that we will look at doing also. Okay, and this is a bread knife. And notice the bottom of it right here. Bread knives come in handy for slicing bread or baked goods like banana bread or zucchini bread's my favorite. Tomato bread, I don't know if you've ever had green tomato bread. That is an excellent bread as well. Okay, so that's a little bit about the utensils. I'll kind of scroll back through here so you can look at the names again. The names are in dark bold print right here. And this is something that will actually be on the test, knowing the names of these things. And once we start cooking, that's what it will have that on the recipe, the names, the specific culinary names. Okay, thanks for watching the video on this lesson. Have a great day.